Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming out to the stream. Gonna get the show on the road. How my lovely people doing today? Hank, Romero.
Shalom.
Are you there? There you go.
What up?
There you go. There you go. What's up? What's up? How you guys doing today?
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous? You make that word up?
Better if I was still in Miami, but you know.
Yeah, how was Miami, man? You enjoy yourself?
It was nice, man. It was nice. I'm gonna definitely go back.
That's what's up. That's
Beginning
what's
of
up.
August with some friends because they're going, but I don't know. Is that too soon? Is it too soon to do a back-to-back? I don't know.
Nah, no such thing as too soon. No such thing as too soon. How you doing, Hank? I haven't
Doing
been
well,
on in
man.
a while. How are you?
Just been hanging out, just chilling, dog. Been busy, been working.
Working. You got a
Been
job?
working,
Been
dog.
working.
Got a little job.
Got a little job?
Got a
Okay.
little job.
Check you out. Well, congrats on that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the show on the road. I'm still sending out a couple links. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Is that it? Okay, that's good enough. All right, let's get the show on the road. First, we want to give a little intro. You guys want to say a little something to start the show off? How you guys doing today? No? Okay.
I'll
Never
let
mind.
Romero go first.
Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Rev? Something you want to say to the
Hank's a
folks?
really nice guy.
Something you want to say to the folks?
I want to say that you're about to witness 45 minutes to an hour plus of making Josh look like a fool. Because that's what we do. We're the top notch guys. Josh is just, and I think he completes us because he makes us look better than we really are. So that's what you're about to witness. Enjoy.
Okay. Hank, you want something to follow up? You want something to say?
Victor
double
Oladipo
down
and
on
DeMar
that.
DeRozan should be making the Team USA team this year.
Victor Oladipo and who?
DeMar DeRozan should be the two guards on Team USA this year.
Okay.
Basketball talk.
I don't know how I feel about that. But okay. That's
I
fair.
don't. Who else they got, dog? I'm gonna run CJ McCollum out there.
All right. As always, we're going to kick off the show with the question of the day. Of course, this is the segment where we ask each other questions. And we have to give an answer based on that question. We grade each other on that question. But the grades are completely subjective. So please don't get offended. Okay? Do you want me to kick this one off, Rev?
Hey, Josh, I want to know what you're coming with today.
Okay. I'm coming with that heat. Just to let you know. All right. My question for you, Mr. Rev, is who, even though it's not over, let's say the off season were to end today, which team is the winner of the off season or NBA free agency during this month or this summer? Who you got? Hank, you can answer as well.
We'll see what Romero's got first. I don't want to spoil his thunder.
Yeah.
Well, since he said the magic word, no, I'm just playing.
Yeah, they got rid of Carmelo, best team in the league.
100%.
Damn, y'all seen
No,
Dennis
but,
Schroeder going to the championship.
It's, man, I'm trying to stay calm because I don't OKC fans that start sounding delirious like Laker fans and Boston fans and just start talking mad wild. Like, Boston fans have earned that now. But like the last 7 years, they just been talking out their neck, and it's like, stop it, y'all not going nowhere. So I don't want to be that team. So OKC, we're not on that. That's not our fan base. That's not our game. So we're just gonna totally disregard the Warriors. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to just strictly based on a pickup, back even half the player he was, that's a super improvement from JaVale McGee. So obviously they won. You now got a bona fide center, not a guy that just is good. It's a defender and will catch lobs. You got a center that can do everything for himself, really. Everything else is just a bonus. So disregarding them, but I would probably go with. We disregard the Lakers too.
The Lakers?
Say the Lakers if we're not saying Golden State. But I mean, to me, that's kind of obvious too because they got LeBron. So if we just disregard the obvious improvements of Golden State and the Lakers, only because you got rid of Melo, who was one of the issue. He wasn't working well with them. Him. And whenever they did play with just Russ and PG, they had some excellent games. And those two played really well together. And it translated to wins. And stuff was up and down a lot of times that season. So I think they improved just because they can get rid of that chapter. They retain PG, who will be a backup, who has been a quality player in the past. So if he can get back up to decent production, that's a quality backup guy to have, or somebody to throw in your lineups. If you want to play, a long, big lineup or something like that, pause. And you also got as your backup. So Felton's more of a leadership veteran guy than a backup point guard because, let's face it, he's really not all that great. He does his job decently, I guess, but Schroeder's a starting quality playmaker. So now we got great playmaking on the bench and some young athleticism too. So I would say aside from the big guns, Thunder had a pretty solid offseason.
Okay. So you didn't say who won.
Golden State, obviously. That was a dumb question. And of course, they won.
Okay.
Nobody expected them to get Cousins for 30 cents and a Twinkie. That was stupid. Nobody expected that to happen in a million years. So they definitely won, 100%.
Okay. Hank?
Really like what San Antonio did, getting rid of a player that didn't want to be there and turning that into an all-NBA player. I thought that was really impressive. Jakob Poeltl is legit a nice backup 5 that they got as well. So I kind of like what San Antonio ended up doing.
So you going with San Antonio?
Yeah, I think they got a good draft. They got the kid out of Miami. What's his name? Lonnie Walker. I think he's going to be a really good backup 2 for them. I've heard him described as Donovan Mitchell-esque. So I think that'll be a fun player to watch as well.
Dropped Tony Parker. Okay.
Got rid of Tony Parker. Yeah,
I like that one.
I mean, though, is my bias edged San Antonio out, but that was literally 2 seconds away from being my answer. So give Hank an A++, because I was really thinking about that.
I was going to give him an A.
Some young guys and some draft picks.
I was going to give him an A for thinking outside of the box, and I was going to give you a D for, picking the easy scapegoat, easy way out on the question. So, yeah.
So the easy way out would have been Golden State.
That's what I'm saying. That's who you picked.
Well, I felt had a better offseason if you're disregarding them, but you felt like that wasn't a good enough answer. So I gave you what the truest answer.
I didn't say anything was a good enough answer. I just asked you.
Whatever. We moving on.
So yeah, go ahead. Hank with the A, the W. Romero, you take that L. Yep, no, that's my grade. I like the. I definitely wasn't thinking San Antonio was going to be mentioned at all. And I like that. I like thinking outside of the box. I like that you kind of, said something that, I wasn't thinking about. So, and then Romero, he just said the obvious. So, all he really did was just name the 3 teams that made the biggest moves and say, okay, yeah, Warriors did the best.
I mean, because they did. That's the truest answer. But man, whatever, man. I'm only a little salty because
what I say. Don't get it. Please, I said, please, don't get offended.
Nah, man.
They're completely subjective. I can do whatever I want with these grades.
Yeah, I'm gonna say then I'm headed out. That's the only reason I'm salty because I'm like, dang, Hank would say that. Because I almost did say that, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with OKC. And of course, Hank was like, yeah, San Antonio.
Well, I said, please don't get offended, and that's exactly what you do. All right, we're going ahead. What's your question of the day?
I'm gonna hit you with a double whammy. You getting 2 questions today. I'm gonna make you think hard.
Man, you gave me 2 questions last week, 2 weeks ago.
For you, because you be hitting me with foolishness. So I really gotta make you think with yours. Yours just be, what I'm saying, wasting my time. I want your brain to hurt when you finish answering this question. Can you name the team with the worst record 10 years in the NBA?
For the last 10 years?
Who has had the worst record?
For the last 10 years in the NBA?
That's an easy one.
Or over the last
That's
10
10
years?
Yes.
Ooh. And then Hank gonna come back. You see how he going to slick? That's the easy one. So just make it.
I think that's an easy
Off
one.
the top of his head. He might even know the actual record. But let's see what you got,
No.
Josh.
The worst record over the last 10 years. See, whenever I get questions like this, I always just completely blank on the teams that are in the league. That's why I always struggle. But
About to say Buffalo Bills? I don't know.
no,
The,
I'm
the
thinking of. Nah, it couldn't be them. It could be them. It could be. It's either between. Nah, it wouldn't be Phoenix.
Yep, Phoenix messed around and won 45 games a couple years ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't be them. I'm thinking it's got to be maybe it's between like Charlotte. It's gonna be between like Charlotte.
Oof.
No, they had a couple good teams. They had a couple good years. Oh man. So you always get these little weak trivia questions. Boy, I'm finna eat you. See, I'm just blanking on teams that are in the NBA. Man, there's been some bad. All the bad teams I'm thinking about have had good years.
A 10-year span. Having good years in 10 years
2008.
doesn't necessarily mean
2008. Cause I wanted to say like Orlando, but in 2009 or 2008 they made it to the finals. So I'm thinking no. Atlanta Hawks? No,
Good
they had some
year.
really good years.
don't mean that they didn't have any bad years. We talking from 2008 up until now.
You should name every team in the league. Come on, man, just pick a team.
Okay. All right. I'm going.
Pick a team.
I'm going with the. I'm going with the. I'm going with the Sacramento Kings.
You got any guesses? You said this would be an easy one.
That's got to be the Kings, man. They're terrible.
Yeah, I'm going with the Kings. Ooh, I put that out at the last
They
minute.
haven't made the playoffs since like 2002, I think.
I'm going with the Kings.
I tell you what, guys. But that's not a bad guess.
It's
The-
not
the
the
Kings-
Kings.
It's not?
In the last 10 years was the 2008-9 season when they only won 17 games.
Who?
Philly?
That was the Kings, like one of the worst records in the last 10 years was them going 17-65 in 2008-9 season.
So is that the correct answer?
You were so close. And you literally said the team, and Hank went, oof. It was Charlotte Bobcats.
Man, I was gonna say them.
Charlotte? They've been to the playoffs.
You played me, Hank. You played me.
I'm as surprised as you. They've been to the playoffs. Really?
The lockout season, they went 7-59.
But they went to the playoffs a couple years ago.
Just because you had some decent years in that 10-year period.
No,
doesn't mean
see,
didn't have a bad
you
spot.
asked that question weirdly. I thought you were saying who had the least amount of wins since 2008 overall. You
Fair
were
enough.
just asking who had the least amount of wins over the last 10 years in a season.
Oh, I thought you were asking overall records.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay,
thinking.
fair enough.
But now that I think about it, now that you say Philly
Oh,
probably
thanks.
would have been the correct answer.
Philly went 10-72 in 2015-16.
Yeah,
though.
that was the Michael Carter Williams after he left. They just bombed.
And the New Jersey Nets went 10-72 as well in 2009-10. So as far as full seasons worth of play, I think those two teams have the worst record like ever. But lockout season 2011-12 Bobcats went 7-59. It's the worst record in the last 10 seasons
I
of
agree.
NBA basketball.
I agree with Anthony. He said question was told terribly. You suck, B. I agree. That was you didn't phrase it correctly.
All right,
all.
hey, well, that's fair enough. I got another slick trivia question for you when we get to the topic, so I'm gonna just hold it.
Okay.
We
All
can
right.
move on from that. You both F- for saying the team and literally breezing right past it.
I blame Hank. He played me. because I was thinking him, and then he.
Brother, I was lost too.
I'll give Hank a D only for being so confident in his answer, and your answer was the same. So you guys had a little bit of
The Kings.
age, man. So
yeah, I thought it was the King very last second. But all right, that's gonna wrap it up for question of the day.
Get off my show.
Huh?
You can't comment.
Right. Hank played the mess out of me, man. I'm livid. But anyway, we're gonna get on to the show. Well, we're gonna start the show off with the Dallas anthem controversy. So controversy. I can't talk. Go ahead, Romero. I know you wanted to talk about this. You wanted to. Go ahead, just brief us real quick on what's going on in Dallas. Or we could have Hank do it because he's down there, but we're gonna let you do it.
Sideline analyst, for real. Hank might have the inside scoop on me.
Hank low-key talking to Adam Schefter in his
right now.
I wish.
Got an IEP right now. Hey yo, what y'all saying in the back?
What's going on?
Oh, okay.
Are you asking me to explain, or you got this? What's going on here?
No, Meryl's got it.
So Stephen Jones,
Stephen
and
Jones.
I quote Stephen Jones. If it's spelled with a PH, that should be Stephen. Stop naming your kids weird things. H makes an F sound, not a. Okay, anyway. So, and I quote, says, "We certainly are supportive of them when they have their personal issues or their personal things that they want to pursue, and we'll help them pursue them on Tuesdays. But when you're wearing the Dallas Cowboy uniform and a Dallas Cowboy helmet and you're working for the Dallas Cowboys, you check the I and the me at the door, and you're a part of a team. There's bright lines in terms of our organization." The biggest kind of takeaway for me with that is that I haven't seen this be any of the anthem controversy, if that's what you really want to call it. We haven't seen any of that be an issue in Dallas. I feel like it's more so been, I mean, you can think of three or four other teams off the top of the head that like it was really a bigger deal with. For me personally, remember Dallas ever being like one of the teams that seriously people were like, oh my God, I can't believe that it was generally other teams. So for me, for you to have to say that, players in a position to feel like, yeah, okay, you can do what you want. We totally support you, but once you walk in the stadium, I don't care. We run it. To me, that just furthers the issue that we talk about all the time between ownership and player relations, and that it kind of feels like that. You go play football, I don't really care about you and your agendas. To me, it was just kind of weird that that was kind of like provoking something to me. I don't feel like you even had to say anything because it hasn't been a huge problem for you, and it hasn't been a problem yet. The season hasn't even started. Why do you feel the need to come out and say something as of right now? And I don't know. And the league is trying to work on their own personal policy too. So why do you feel the need to try to even kind of insinuate things to your players? To me, the owners are asking for trouble, or, higher ups, all of that. They're just kind of asking for stuff. So that was just an interesting takeaway for me.
Okay. Anything you wanted to add to that, Hank?
I think it's definitely become an issue that's just been blown just completely away from what it should have been. I mean, the original issue was police brutality and, fairness towards, minorities. And it's become an issue of patriotism and like America, which it totally isn't the issue at all. So it's kind of interesting to see that.
America.
And the thing with Jerry was in Arizona this year, they all locked arms and like kneeled for like a second and then jumped up. And everyone's like, oh, Jerry Jones is actually doing something. And I think 2 weeks later, he was quoted as like berating his players for like linking arms or something. So the guy's just crazy hypocrite. He's all over the place. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I think this is going to be a big issue for the NFL in general. And it's definitely going to be something that's going to hurt them again this year because their revenue just keeps going down every year.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
I feel like.
Can I go?
Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
I think it's just one of those things that they're just not going to be able to get right until they, change some of the ownership throughout the league. They're going to continue to have this mindset. As far as this situation with him saying like as long as you are while you're in the Cowboys jersey, you're not going to kneel. I don't know. It's just I actually kind of I'm not gonna say agree with him. I don't, but I commend him because I know for a fact that every other NFL leader is doing that, but they're gonna say it behind closed doors. So I commend him for at least saying it and telling people like that's how he feels about the situation. If you're gonna wear this jersey, you're not gonna do that. I commend him for that because no other owner is gonna do that right now. And if they do, I mean, more power to them. I mean, I don't agree with it. Don't get that twisted. I still very much disagree with the notion that like if you're wearing my jersey, you have no basically what they're telling them if you as long as you're wearing my jersey, you have no freedom of speech, basically. So that's pretty whack, but I don't know. What can they do? I would like to see one of the players still take a knee, but I doubt that's going to happen because that paper money talks. So
I don't know. The biggest problem is Jerry Jones been such a hypocrite in the past. Like the amount of just like felons and not good people we've had on this team for him to bring in with open arms, and then when it's something that's peaceful like this, it becomes a big button issue, which is just sort of the hypocritical nature of the whole thing. So that's
again, just to point this out, this was Stephen Jones.
And yeah, it is Stephen, but it's
John Jones. But yeah, just as an ownership period, really, because he's the executive VP.
I thought Jerry came out and said the same thing like 2 days before. That's why this was an issue.
Jerry has said something similar too. Yeah. But at the same time, he kind of highlighted that, okay, this thing with Trump is kind of going too far. Like, why is he so vested in this? But just as an ownership coalition period, it's very strange. And like you mentioned, Hank, I vividly do recall Jerry Jones being down there locking arms and stuff, and then he's going back and forth and said things that are like, wait, weren't you just situation? And then I feel like and I thought, Josh, what was I about to say? I was about to say something, and then I didn't want to speak over you because you didn't have a turn yet. To me, it's just like it's almost like some of these like teams are asking for there to be some type of issue because, like I said, like they're saying this stuff to the media, or it's like somehow always getting out. This isn't something that is in a team meeting or something, and we're just kind of talking over this. Like, this is something we want to put in place going into the season. It's like I'm publicly letting it be known we're not going to do this. You guys are going to take fines or be kicked out of the game or whatever, suspended, blah, 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 and just bringing negative backlash to themselves preemptively. Like, there's no need even for these type of statements right now. And if the league itself is trying to work on a way to handle this issue, there's no reason for you guys to be trying to put personal policies in place that are just going to further complicate the situation and the public perception to the whole thing. So why not just shut up and play football? Try to tell these athletes to do. Shut up and play football. Shut up and coach. Shut up and run the team. Policy issue. But you as owners, VPs, whatever, stop voicing your opinions. Stop trying to throw these weird labels out and these, well, this is how we're going to handle it. Just shut up and camps and all of that.
They do it because they know, like I said, money talks, and they know that it's a bigger issue. Like a majority of their audience probably is
conservative.
Yeah, is conservative, exactly. So they probably are supporting the fact that taking a knee is a stance against patriotism in America. So they're more concerned about saving them dollars and getting people to come to their games and not protesting them. They're more willing to allow more liberal people, as far as our people that are against are with the players taking a knee. They realize they're trying to basically take the lesser of two evils, because they know that that's a minority of their audience, where the majority of their audience, like you said, is conservative and will be more likely to protest if they allow players or say go out and say that they want their players to take a knee.
Yeah, it's typically a good conservative white, Midwestern sort of audience, which is fine. It's not a bad thing. It's just they're not liking that sort of problem. And I think another problem with this whole thing is, honestly, I think probably Colin Kaepernick wasn't the guy to lead this, because he did a very poor job, especially off the rip, of communicating why exactly he was doing it. And I think if you'd had someone with more personality or charisma, like a Ray Lewis type or someone that had led this charge, I don't think this would have been as much of an issue right now. Are you guys kind of with that?
Cam Newton should have did it.
Like someone like that, someone that can actually communicate. Even Cam, not the best. I don't know.
I think Cam would have been way better. But no, I don't necessarily.
NFL fans would have lost their minds.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Cap was.
I think he's wearing the Che Guevara shirt and he's doing all this stuff that he shouldn't be doing, and just like he seemed just very scatterbrained and it wasn't fully planned out. I think that hurt the cause a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't think it was gonna blow up the way he did. I will agree in the fact that they're obviously blackballing him, and you can say that he's not being blackballed. So I agree that I wish it would have been somebody else that was like an elite quarterback, who it would be very clear that he was being blackballed. With Colin Kaepernick, he was like, okay, he's a backup, but is he really good enough to be a backup? Even though he clearly is, and he's clearly being blackballed. And that way, I kind of wish it was somebody else. But I think Colin Kaepernick was a. I don't have a problem with.
I think he hurt himself a lot. I mean, he made a lot of comments about like communism and like Che Guevara and a lot of like weird. I think he wore like a Castro shirt at one time. Like he didn't exactly preach the best, or do the best at communicating his message. So
that's fair. I mean, but I don't necessarily. I don't have a problem with Fidel Castro shirt personally, but that's just me.
A little bit of a mass murderer, but it's cool. We can go into that more.
Yeah, but I mean, this is America. It's not like we're little angels either. But I mean, we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that at all, please. But I mean, I do hear what you're saying. It's not like you just
a thought.
Yeah,
just a thought.
Yeah,
I wasn't the number one option to lead that kind of charge.
That's fair. Like I said, I think somebody like I feel like I like Cam Newton. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but he's the guy that's for the culture in the NFL. But he doesn't do those things, so it's kind of annoying. But I don't know. Go ahead, Romero. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
But I do agree with Hank, only in the way that like it too long for it. Part of the confusion, I think, is taking too long for Kaepernick to say, this is why I'm doing it. Because there was some times where it felt kind of half-baked, partially due to what you said. I feel like he never expected it to be this, big.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, almost like playing it as I go. I'm going to say that this is involved too, and this is involved. Whereas
he started piling on there.
It's like, due to this and this and this is why I feel this is what I need to be doing. So I feel like that also makes it harder, because Hank said that, which is completely true. This narrative totally switched from what it should be to this weird nationalism standpoint about disrespecting the country and the flag and the veterans and all of that. And it absolutely has 0% to do with the issue at hand. But I do feel like because of, first of all, people are too ignorant, and a lot of the NFL fan base and people in general, descriptive of the ignorance that lies under the mindset of this whole nation. So that plays a part in it too. But whenever from the jump, there's kind of like, okay, well, what is it for? Oh, it's this. Well, it's also because of this. Let me add this in there. And then stuff like Castro shirts and stuff like that can be negatively viewed as well. So it kind of hurts the overall. The overall view of the message. It kind of clouds things. Other things get in the way from what's truly being said. So I feel like there's just a bunch of layers in between people not being willing to listen and pay attention and kind of like look into it instead of taking the media or whatever they heard their cousin say for face value, like searching that's why he feels this way that he does. and people not actually listening, and then him not necessarily always being the best messenger or voice for it. I feel like it's just led to this whole kind of situation. And I don't know, hopefully a way to do it, unless you just have a sit down conversation at every stadium before the game. This is not what this is about. This is to protest, blah, 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 blah. I don't think there's any real way that you can make people stop being ignorant about it. And I also feel like there's no real way to please, because if you please all the conservatives and the majority of your fan base, whatever, a billion other people off there are going to say, all right, fine, I'm done watching the NFL. So you lose revenue. If you appease the people that are like, he should be able to do this, they should be able to do this, blah, 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 then you piss off the conservatives and but they start saying, well, I'm not going to pay for football games, blah, 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 blah. So it's a weird deal that the NFL has found themselves in. And that's why it's the no fun league, and NBA is better because they don't have these problems. So.
Okay.
Sad.
Yeah. Yes or no question. Hank, are you boycotting?
I've been slowly gotten less football the last 4 or 5 years. I don't think boycott is a good word for it. I watch the Cowboys play, and that's about it.
Yeah. Romero, yes or no question. Are you boycotting?
Same as Hank said, I progressively watch less and less football. I also genuinely, for the most part, don't watch football, period. So
does anybody know what a yes or no question is?
Yes, I don't watch enough for really me to say I'm quote unquote protesting. You can't protest something you don't participate in the first place.
Okay. All right.
Like, are you protesting grapefruits? It's like, I don't eat grapefruits. Like,
just don't eat them. So I don't feel one way or another about them. I'm not protesting them or not. I just don't eat grapefruit.
So when it comes
so
time,
I don't watch football.
So no. Here's the question. Super Bowl, yes or no? Are you watching it?
I mean, everyone watches it. Let's be honest here, dog.
Yeah, let's see. I feel like everybody's willing to
protest. No. You finicky. You're finicky.
Nah, just I don't care enough to protest because, I mean, politics and everything, don't get me started. I genuinely don't care one way or another. People are stupid. You can never fix the actual issues that the country and people all over the world have, no matter what you do or say. So politics and all these discussions are absolutely a waste of time to me. They're dumb. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. And more than anything, I don't really care about the Super Bowl for who's playing in it, unless like this year it was kind of cool to see the Eagles go.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna watch the Super. Oh, did I lose you guys? Oh man.
Bad. Like a couple years ago, it was a whole bunch of heroin commercials or something. But anyway, yeah, for the most part, I watched the Super Bowl.
Okay. Yeah.
Trailers.
It missed a lot of what you said. Like, I think Streamlabs froze, but it's back now, so we're good. But yeah, what I was gonna say is yeah, I'll probably watch the Super Bowl. And kind of like Hank, I really don't have a team now. I don't know. I'm just like in limbo as far as being a Rams fan. I like them, but then I don't. Still kind of sad. But I'll watch them if they're on. That's about it. And then Fantasy Football League, I do that too. But yeah. Hank, you still there?
Yeah, man, just hanging out.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think that's pretty good on the NFL tip. Some other big news this week. The hilarious news of the week was between CJ McCollum and Kevin Durant. Did you guys hear about that?
Sorry, CJ McCollum and who?
Kevin Durant.
On the podcast, yeah.
You know Kevin Durant? You heard of him?
Pretty good player. Part of the starting backcourt of Portland Trailblazers. I don't know the other guy.
CJ McCollum?
No, I know CJ. I don't know the other guy though. But
okay. No, he's doing a thing right now. He's like doing a bit right now.
I'll figure it out as you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna play the clip off Twitter. So if you guys mute your mics, and you can listen to it if you go to the stream really quickly. I'll play it. I'm gonna mute my mic, and then once it's done playing, we'll come back and discuss it. How about that? Is that cool? Okay, they muted their mics already. All right, I'm finna play. I'm muting my mic.
Nah, you know how I felt, bro. I was hot. I don't know if I was more mad than when you went to go. I think I was more mad.
Why are you mad about this stuff?
Bro, I'm in the league. What do you mean? Why am I mad about this? I'm in the Western Conference. I got to play you MFers all the time anyway, as it is, over and over again. We done got eliminated by y'all a few times in the first round. So I'm looking at Cuz.
you know you guys aren't going to win a championship.
Bro, we have the team. We have capabilities. Anything is possible. We can win a championship, bro.
I mean, let's be honest.
Bro, we can win a championship. Anything is possible.
You just need to look. I need more. I mean, I like y'all. I like y'all too. You're hard to stop. But, I mean, come on. You can't be upset about this.
I can be upset because Cuz was a free agent, which means he could have. This is why I was upset. He could have came to Portland. His agent and Nurk have the same agents. So I'm thinking, okay, you ain't gonna come to us, whatever. Why you gotta go there, Cuz? And I text him. I was mad. I got on Twitter.
Yo, get out your feelings.
And I really text Cuz. I'm like, Cuz, what's up, bro? Like, why? Like, what?
Yo, you're the first person I see.
Why did this happen?
Who said something? I was crying on Twitter when you seen that.
No, people thought I was playing. I for real text Cuz. And we talked.
That was funny.
We hashed it out. I needed to know what was going on. I wanted to know why.
You want him to come to Portland?
Bro, I think that anything is possible, bro. I'm just saying, man. You trying to get me in trouble. I'm happy with Nurk. Nurk's a great big man for us. Nurk's playing well.
I mean, you did just say on the airwaves, I mean, you might cut it out, but that you just said that he should have came to Portland. So you ain't want Nurk?
Of course I want Nurk.
Okay. But you rather
we could have had both of them.
Y'all not getting both.
Y'all only paid him $5 million. We had 12 to 15 million in cap.
No way it's happening. Y'all, it ain't gonna be it's gotta have a nice yin and yang, bro. It's gonna be too much of one thing with y'all. So stop that.
So what do you suggest?
I suggest you just keep playing, man, and don't worry about what goes on at the top of things.
We right there at the top of things. We was a third seed last year, bro. We was right there. We was just slightly below 1 and 2.
But how'd you play?
Some unfortunate situations happened in the first round.
How'd you play?
Some unfortunate circumstances.
Like an 8 seed.
We did not play. Nah, you know how I felt, bro. I was.
All right. I think seconds I've listened to it, it's funnier. It's even funnier for me. But you guys back? You listening? Okay. So what did you guys?
Yeah.
Were you guys able to listen to it?
That was it was crystal clear. It's perfect.
Cool.
On stream.
Cool. So
that worked out perfect.
What are your guys' thoughts? Let's start. Let's let Hank start off with this one, Rev. What are your thoughts on this podcast thing?
Incredibly awkward, but incredibly awesome. I don't know. CJ McCollum had a podcast, which is kind of dope.
Yeah, I agree.
And the fact that Kevin Durant went on it and was just spitting fire was pretty fun.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought CJ had some nice points. I thought the point of you and your brother get jumped by a gang and then you go join that gang was kind of an interesting analogy. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's stupid NBA offseason stuff, but it's funny.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to go first, Rev? I know you're a very high, passionate about this kind of topic. You know, would you like for me to go
about
first?
podcasts or basketball?
I'm gonna go first.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I'm gonna go first. And this is what I'm gonna say. I think this is I have no problem with what anybody said. I honestly didn't understand why people were feeling like he like they were feeling like KD like completely like washed CJ or like embarrassed them or anything. Cause I feel like all he's literally doing, you can clearly tell that they're friends. You can clearly tell they're both laughing. I thought the conversation was okay, and I thought it was just all fun and games. And it still might be all fun and games, but it seemed like whenever CJ McCollum made the analogy about the gang, KD started to get in his feelings for whatever reason. And this is what and this is where it kind of went left for me, because I don't understand. I think I just don't understand why KD got woman. And like I said, maybe he's not that upset. And I honestly, I honestly don't believe that he's actually mad. He was kind of just trolling with the clapback that he said. But if he did get upset, it didn't make sense because I don't understand why he feels like he can just say whatever he wants. And when CJ McCollum comes back and says like, you soft or he's a soft decision, but he respects it. I feel like CJ McCollum was like really defending him. But you know, okay, all right.
That's how I feel about it.
But anyway, but no, yeah, like when he sent the tweet and then KD came back, I just didn't understand why he felt like he felt like CJ McCollum was snaking him when actuality CJ McCollum was defending him because he said like I wouldn't call him a B word, like I'm not gonna take it that far. And he respectfully said, like, I think he respects the decision, but he still think it's soft. But the only thing I have a problem with CJ McCollum saying is the analogy that he gave. I think that's a little bit excessive for what KD did personally. I don't think it's necessarily as strong as that because in the situation that he gave with the gang fight, that's a little strong because that's kind of testing like family and stuff like that. I think a better analogy would be like if you were in, that kid that at recess or something, or no, your kid when you was on the basketball team and y'all kind of formed a team, you had the coach or whatever, you played throughout the season and y'all doing fine, but y'all can't beat the one team. And then next thing you know, he's the best player on the team as well, so he's leading y'all. But then next thing you know, just because he can't beat that one team, he joins that team and then they come back and they continue to beat you. I feel like it's more so that it's not as extreme as
analogy because that's literally what happened. So,
much
of an analogy because it's almost exactly what happened. So
yeah, but I think
it's barely an analogy when it's the real life like
the
story.
But I mean that more people can relate to that because I feel like that's happened to a lot of people. Like that's something that you can see and like. And younger, and I feel like it's an analogy because it's like, or better, I guess I would use like recess, and you always have like two teams that always group up in recess, but our gym class, and the kid that is tired of losing, but he's the best player on one of like a dodgeball team or something, so he just joins the other team so he can win. I feel like that's a little bit of a better analogy, and I just think to say that it's like your brother, and then you just gonna jump your brother, you and your brother get jumped. And then 2 months later, you plot on your brother and then jump him. That's a little excessive. But at the end of the day, I still don't understand why KD felt like he was snaked, even when CJ McCollum was clearly defending him by saying, like, I wouldn't call him a B word. He also said he respects the decision, but he still feels like it's soft. And, okay, that's just his opinion. Like, you don't have to feel snaked. And like I said, I honestly don't believe that he's actually upset about it. He's kind of just trolling. I kind of feel like he's trolling, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure with KD. What do you think about that?
That's my only thoughts, bro. Like you said, basically anything. Like he can say anything jokingly or not. He feels like he can say whatever. Can't nobody check him. He's entitled to be able to say that because he's human. He's this, blah, 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 blah. But the moment somebody says something to him, which is now funny because, a couple years ago, somebody said DeMarcus Cousins was an emotional lesbian. Warriors have 3 emotional lesbians on their team. So this is pretty funny. We lost Hank here.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, it's pretty funny. The Warriors now have 3 emotional lesbians. Cousins will say this stuff to your face. Draymond Green will say this stuff to your face on the court and, in interviews. Like, these are guys that will go at you wherever. And has some very strong thumbs. He's a scrawny man, but his thumbs are powerful, dude. Like, he is a bona fide keyboard warrior. keyboard warrior, in my opinion, and also he's got strong thumb muscles. Keyboard courage is what we call it. Yeah, it's weird to me, but I feel like he says that him and McCollum are friends. It's not that big of a deal around, but to me, if you were just joking around, why did you go back at him the way you did? Like, it'd be different if you kind of laughed it off and you were like, yeah, whatever, get over it. Like, during the podcast, he was like, why are you mad? Like, why are you worried about it? Blah, 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 blah. If he came back like that, sure. But he came back as if he was offended. Be offended. Because you can say what you want about the whole gang jumping thing being too far, but realistically, think about it. 8 years, something like that. He was there for quite some time, multiple times, did off the court things for Oklahoma City, cared about it so much, talking about how he wanted to be like those guys like Dirk, Tim Duncan, and stay in one place for, their whole career, stood up for Russ constantly. Oh, this is my brother. I know, blah, 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 blah. Really took up for him all the time. And then the reason they lost that series was because of him. Kevin Durant no-showed in Game 6. He didn't perform the way he had been performing the whole postseason. Consequently, Russ does the thing that he does. He kind of gets nervous and tries to force. But if the best and most efficient player on the team is breaking everything, but also always calling for the ball, at some point, he's finally going to say, you know what, I can't keep giving it to you, Kevin. You're not doing it. So now I have to do it. And that just led to that team losing. And then Game 7, they couldn't bounce back. I think they got crushed. Because I've seen it before when they play Miami. You can call Kevin Durant emotional when it comes to insults too, but on the basketball court, definitely. Because there was a play in like Game 2, I think. LeBron's heart. LeBron crushed KD's heart. He like blocked his shot or something. You could just see it in his face. Like he just ate his heart out. And in that playoff series, he just kind of like couldn't get his stride back together. The morale was down. So you can't be mad about people thinking it's weird that you switched up, join them, but then also constantly act like it's no big deal. Why is everybody upset? Because it is a big deal. And I do like that CJ McCollum as a competitor actually voiced, yeah, I was pissed off. Like, what the hell? Why did you go there? Because everybody else, all his other peers like to act like, wow, that's crazy. But they publicly are like, oh, I have no problem with it. So I was happy that CJ McCollum was like, yeah, I was pissed. Why is he going there? And why is DeMarcus going there too? You keep acting like this isn't a weird situation or it isn't like literally an overpowered team. People say something to you about it. To me, that's very strange. So I personally don't understand it. Stop getting your feelings hurt, bro. It's not that deep. If y'all supposed to be cool, saying stuff to you on his podcast, why are you so upset about it now when he tweeted? And like you said, he was defending you first and foremost. I don't know. That was a weird situation to me.
Okay. You off your soapbox yet? You okay?
I'm not upset or anything. I just find it very weird that he like reacts so harshly to anything people say. And like I said with the CJ thing, like I can understand it with like Twitter trolls and stuff. At a certain point, you're going to get pissed off and be like, you know what? I'm going at these people. One of your peers and that you claim to be real cool with, I don't understand why you felt so slighted by that comment. Like you said, when he initially started off the statement, I don't think you should call him a B word, but blah, 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 blah. Cue the sad music. That's funny. Yeah, so to me, it was just weird. And then I like that Dirk, I don't even know who asked him anything, but Dirk basically was like, you might as well have just said, yeah, Kevin Durant's emotional. I don't get it. Because he said, engage with fans talking trash. I like to have fun with it. People talk about me all the time. You're old, retire, go away, blah, 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 blah. You're not supposed to be sensitive about it. That's how I look at it. I'm not sure why KD feels the need to respond to some of the stuff because, I mean, Twitter is just a place for tough guys and a lot of hate. My face. You can't take yourself too serious on there. So to me, most athletes acknowledge, like you very seldomly see other athletes going at people like that. Occasionally you'll see a response to somebody, but for the most part, and you know they're getting 1 billion mentions a day on Twitter, Instagram, and they just for the most part ignore it. Every once in a while you might see them say something back. Whereas Kevin Durant has burner accounts on Twitter and Instagram. It's calling people B-words in their DMs and in their mentions. Like, deadly to heart, and it's just social media. Like, people are gonna troll you on a daily, so it's very weird that you get so sensitive when athletes or commentators or whatever say something about you. He got sensitive about Chris Webber and other people saying stuff, and James Worthy. So weird, bro. Just take it with a grain of salt and move on. You're a professional athlete. You're a public figure. This type of stuff is gonna happen constantly. And why did you make the weakest move in NBA history? If you knew you're not built for people talking about you, you shouldn't have done something like that, to me. But this man is so sensitive, but also claims to not care so much. It's like you're trying too hard to be this tough, like, I don't care, but I'm going to go at everybody and say something to me. It's just a weird situation to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I do honestly feel like he's trolling. But I don't know. I guess you really just never know. But yeah, I guess that's enough. Is Hank back? Is Hank gone forever?
I don't know what happened to Hank. I'll shoot him a text right now.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're doing that, we're gonna go ahead move on to some other NBA topic. Oh, did you see? And please comment in the comment section. Did you guys see John Wall's USA picture? Did you see that, Rev?
Man. I tell you what, man, John Wall. I don't know what's been going on with this man. Where you been since April?
He been stressing, boy. It sound like he got about 3-4 girlfriends or something, and bad relationship, baby mama, something like. You didn't see it, but go look it up, and look it up right now, and just.
Hey, this is what he really need to do, Josh. This is what he need to do. In the words of great friend Stephen A. Smith.
Say, do it again. Please. Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. And you can't stay off
one more time.
The weed. He ain't getting busted for using weed.
Because that's what it looks like John Wall been doing all summer.
I'm not sure.
He either really been heavy in the lab working out and just ain't been caring about his public appearance, or he just been out here just, I mean, he been popping pills. He been out here gambling. He going through it, bro. Like, something is going on because he look rough.
He look really rough. I don't know. It just seems like this summer has not treated him right. He looks like he's out of shape. Oh, I don't know. In the picture, it looks like he's out of shape. He might not actually be out of shape. But it just looks like he's had a rough summer. I don't know. I hope, pray for him. Hope everything's all right. But yeah. if you haven't seen the picture, go look it up, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Wish we could drop it on screen.
I was trying to. I didn't know how.
He checked out because he said he was falling asleep. He was getting a little tired. He was listening to us talking. His eyes were getting heavy, and he was like, "Yeah, I just got to check out." So, R.I.P. Hank. It was nice while it lasted.
RIP. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, check out the John Wall picture. In other NBA news, Clint Capella staying in Houston. Melo is, I think, actually I don't know if they've confirmed it yet, but Melo, yeah, is pretty much going to Houston. And Vince Carter, 40, oldest player in the NBA. He's actually 65. He's turning 65 next year. He's going to the Atlanta Hawks. Anything you want to say about one of these three transactions in the NBA?
I have a comment about all three, actually, and I'm going to make them brief. Starting with Clint Capella, I feel like it was petty that this took so long. They offered him $80 million. He wanted $100. I don't know why it took so long for them to just break even and say, okay, what about 90? Like, this could have been done several weeks ago. I don't understand why this has been going on literally since the start of free agency. It's almost been a full month. Like, he wanted 100. They wanted to give him 80. The very next couple of days should have been, all right, Clint, what about 90? All right, thanks. We'll see you at training camp. To me, that should have been a wrap. I don't understand what took them so long to come to this. You don't want to lose him. You already lost Mbah a Moute. You already lost Ariza. You don't want to lose Capella too, because then you're losing length, defense, and depth.
Hey, they got Melo.
Yeah. So like I said, length, defense, depth. Melo is providing length,
offense.
Anyway, yeah. Mm-hmm. As a third option catch and shoot guy, I feel like I've seen this movie before and it didn't work out well. But yeah, so it was just weird to me that this took that long. Like I completely forgot Capella was even on the market still. Like, oh wow, really? You guys didn't already settle this? That was weird to me. As far as Houston, Andre says Melo's washed out. No comment. I refuse to agree or disagree. Signs are showing that you may not be wrong. But yeah, as far as the Melo situation, I feel like this is exactly what he wanted a full year ago. It's exactly what Harden wanted a year ago, and it's exactly what Chris Paul was anticipating a year ago. We all had already written it off. Yeah, Melo will be in Houston. It's good for these players to finally get what they were expecting to happen a season ago, and I'm interested to see where they were or how much they improve. I don't think you improved too much because you lost Ariza, who's a great defensive player, and he does his job really well, whether it be layups, dunks. He does his job really well, and Melo is qualified offensively, but none of the defense that Trevor Ariza had. So it'll be interesting to see. Hey, shout out Mamba Wanda in the comments. Let's get a W for Wanda in the comments. That's that's funny. Why is she yelling? Anyway, tell Mama I said hi.
They didn't hear. Yeah. I muted myself on the stream because you walking by screaming. So you heard her. They didn't hear. Hopefully.
Oh, okay. Well, so it'll be interesting to see how this finally works out. This has been like a year in the making. As pointed out by our friend here in the comments, no defense. That's Melo's middle name, Carmelo. No defense, Anthony.
No, he's talking about. He said you watching all these ball brothers play in the summer league.
Well, I'm gonna flip that. We talk about Melo. We ain't talking about Melo Ball. We talking about Melo Anthony because no defense applies on both sides of the Melo spectrum.
Right.
And then as far as what was the third one?
Vince Carter.
So the interesting fact I had for you earlier is, do you know what year Vince Carter got drafted?
96. 95.
No.
90. Oh, wait, no. 99. No?
Anyway, whatever year he was born, I forgot the exact year. So I'll give you 98 or 99.
Yeah, it's 98.
Young was born that year.
Who?
So now he has a teammate who's been on the planet.
Who'd you say that was born that year? I'm sorry.
Point guard. Has been on the planet just as long as Vince Carter has been in the NBA. So that's kind of interesting. Seldom we see an age gap that big between teammates.
Oh, what? Wait, Trae Young. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
Trae Young, only, 18, 19?
Yeah.
Maybe 20?
Yeah.
And in the league that long. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You very rarely see
and then did you also see that
far apart?
He's 8 months older than his dad, Trae Young's father.
All right, well, we can officially call Vince Carter Gramps.
Yeah, it's kind of
he earned that title. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can do that when you don't have a really high resume or really high reputation to uphold. Like Kobe, if he was still playing in this old, I feel like even Kobe and Laker fans would be like,
"What do you mean you don't have a high expectation to hold?" Vince Carter was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan. What are you talking about?
But people got over that years ago. He's been a bench guy for years. I'm saying somebody like Kobe, who was an upper echelon player for multiple years.
Kobe would have been a bench player by now.
And if he was still playing, I feel like people would be like, "Bro, go sit down," because we want him to play at this level. We don't want to see him still playing as this. Whereas Vince Carter found his niche. My career didn't pan out the way people expected it to, but off the bench and can still ball in my early 60s. So people are okay with still seeing him doing it. This man might literally play about 30, 40 years in the NBA. He might make it to 80 years old. So this is kind of interesting. But Trae Young been alive for like 20 years. By the time Vince Carter's been on this earth, he's been playing professional basketball for 20 years. So it's funny to see that, like, it's literally this man's dad, bro. Like, he's the locker room dad. Atlanta is a young squad. Like, they gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, you got any juice boxes?" Better be Vince Carter's rook. Is that Dad? Hey, you need some icy hot, some ibuprofen. Your knees probably hurting after that dunk you tried to do yesterday. It's gonna be interesting to see him be that old and be on this young team, and how many more times he'll team hop for 1-year deals. I just want to see the longevity. That's an interesting part to me. But anyway, to comment on the JBA, Josh, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen it, seen any of the highlights, seen any of the box scores. It is absolutely, utterly stupid.
Really?
Man, it's like, drop some shooting percentages in the chat for me, please. I'm looking for them right now because I was looking at them earlier and I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. But if you got it off the top of your head or you were looking at something recently, please drop it in there. Like, this man is playing full 48 minutes. If you playing 48 minutes to really be like dropping the points that they are, but they're dropping these points because there's no defense played. 4 points, 20 assists, 9 rebounds.
How many points?
9 boards.
Bro, it's like cutting out. As soon as you say the points, it's
54, 20, and 9.
54?
34. 34. 34. 34.
34.
9. Along with 10 turnovers. And LaMelo, that's what I'm talking about. LaMelo, he shot 13 for 25. 3-pointer. 48 minutes. He playing all 48 minutes and he ain't tired because it ain't no defense. You shouldn't be able to drop 34 and 20 on nobody. I don't care.
You said he had 10 turnovers?
LiAngelo had 52 points. So you're like, oh, wow, really? 8 for 24 from 3-point line. 18 for 44 in total.
I mean, hey.
These dudes are literally just chucking.
They getting it
we
up.
talked about a couple weeks ago, JBA, like, you got to give it time to develop and stuff. But, bro, like, what are these kids really proving if this is just an all-star showcase every game?
Man, just give it time. It's the first season of the JBA. Like I said it before.
The other kids, I'll give them a pass. These are high school players. Somebody that's wanting to get into the league, you aren't helping yourself when you're playing a bunch of high school cats. You're a year older than most of them, maybe even 2 years. Cool cats. And while you dropping points, they're empty stats because you're super inefficient defense for real. So you're not helping your case. I feel like he would have been better off going to some G League tryouts, trying to get on a team there, or even going back overseas somewhere. But JBA, to me, as a guy that thought he was an NBA-worthy prospect, being there, bro, because you're not helping yourself at all. Like, nobody, I doubt any scout is watching these JBA games going, wow, LiAngelo might be a quality pickup while he's shooting 18 for 44. We could use him.
Like I said before, LiAngelo is going to make it to the NBA.
Will eventually, but I'm saying this current part of his career, this part of his life right now isn't helping that. I feel like he can make it, but this isn't going to be the part that helps him get there. Something else might make somebody go, we'll give him a shot, but this ain't it.
They're going to give him a shot based off the fact that he can score. There's plenty of players in the league that don't play defense. James Harden. But guess what? He can score.
Right.
He can score like none other. So as long as he can score, he's going to make it to the NBA, and it's not going to be an issue at all.
But I feel like this is similar to, he had some decent games overseas, but when he did have those games, they were against lesser competition.
Well, are you talking about LiAngelo or LaMelo?
He'll make the league absolutely in the future. He's young and got plenty of time to develop. I'm talking about LiAngelo right now.
Oh, okay. I honestly don't think
LiAngelo.
Yeah, yeah, okay, my bad.
Make somebody's team.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if
you're doing the same thing you did overseas. It didn't work for you then. It's not gonna work for you now.
Yeah.
The only time you have good games is against lesser competition and worse defense. If you were having good games overseas when you were playing the other grown men, you might have got picked up. If you were having good games now, being on somebody's summer league squad or being in a Drew League and had some decent games, people might be like, wow, because Drew League is highly competitive. Or if you went back overseas to a decent team and played well, people might be like, wow. But again, you're playing lesser competition with no defense, dropping 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
I feel like he will make it, but you're hurting your stock too because you're getting 30 and 20 out here. And y'all playing 48 full minutes of basketball and you ain't tired because ain't nobody defending you. That's not gonna help. Like, this ain't it, bro. Nobody is impressed by these stats or these numbers. Minutes. You should have a solid stat line. But I don't know. And like at a certain point, it's like, y'all clearly ain't playing defense. This is just the All-Star game. Y'all basically just throwing shots up.
Just give it time, man. Give a couple more years. Like I said, they're gonna get some coaches in there. They're gonna get some better players. They're gonna get some defense going. They'll be all right. They're gonna figure it out.
Won the game 169 to 153.
If there's a LeVar, there's a Laway.
Actually, kind of like that. I ain't gonna think.
Tell me if there's a LeVar, there is a Laway. So
the Seattle Ballers beat the Chicago Ballers 134 to 110. There's no defense in this league, bro. They have to figure out something.
It's just the first season. Relax.
These young guys aren't gonna get no looks.
Relax.
Y'all out there about the empty numbers, especially the Ball family. As much as I want to believe there's a low way, yo, little boys ain't gonna make no teams if they dropping these little stats on little boys that can't guard. Just don't make no sense.
Just give it time, man. Just give it time. But
the process is hard.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next segment, the Petty Betty of the week. Rev, can you please tell us who's the Petty Betty of this week?
Initially, I was willing to give it to KD just because of his pettiness overall with CJ on his own podcast, gonna tell him a championship though, right? And then also CJ is like, I mean, we were right in the mix. We were a good team. We were the third seed. But what did you play like? NXT.
that was the funniest part of that video.
Man, I would have been hot. Like, I wish you would try to disrespect me like that on your job.
You're not lying though, because they definitely got knocked out in the first round, just like an AC. By the Pelicans.
And you and Damian Lillard no show. So yeah, he deserved it, but it was like, dang, Kev, like, I wouldn't do him like that. It's just like if I walked on the First Take right now and just made Stephen A. Smith look like the worst man to ever be on TV. What the hell? Get him off my show. Like, how you gonna walk in here and do me like that? It's to him. But upon looking at a classic Terrell Owens, I noticed that he is deserving of it. Jerry West recently commented and said that he believes that T.O. is making a mistake. He has no intentions of showing up to his
Hall of Fame.
Lost the actual word I was going to use. But yeah, the fact that he's not going to show up for that. Jerry Jones, Jerry West. Jerry Jones thinks he's making a mistake, and he thinks that aside from personal reasons, just for the fact of the fans, and T.O. came back through Twitter and said, and he also said, but as we know, Terrell Owens has a mind of his own or something like that. Comes back and says, I feel that Jerry made a mistake when he listened to other people and let me go. I was putting my body on the line. I was balling, basically. Like, I was doing everything I needed to be doing. But you let the background noise make you say, I got to let you go. And he said, but hey, Jerry has a mind of his own. Flipped Jerry's statements about him going into the Hall of Fame or skipping his enshrinement. That was the word I was looking for. He flipped his sentence and his statement about T.O. should be there. You shouldn't have let me go. I was out there hooping. I was balling on them boys out there.
He was hooping?
He on the football field. He was hooping.
He was hooping on the football field?
It's a real baller. You doing a whole nother sport? He was hooping on that team, man. He was hooping. I mean, he had a record the second to my player kind of looked like him. I can't think of his name. Anyway, but yeah, T.O. was a good player, so he flipped that right around. I feel like you made a mistake by letting me go when I definitely ain't had no business getting let go. But you was listening to other people instead of seeing what I was doing on that gridiron.
Yeah, that's pretty petty. That's pretty petty bringing up old stuff. T.O. just going.
He digging in his bag.
Bringing up old stuff. Why you gotta bring up old stuff, T.O.?
He said,
it's also petty that he.
That I'm not going.
Right.
Let me pull this out.
But that it is very petty that he's not going to the Hall of Fame enshrinement. So yeah, he does deserve petty.
This is a double whammy of petty.
Yeah, I agree.
Whammy of petty, and so this just continues the enshrinement of Dallas Cowboy culture into the Petty Betty Hall of Fame, because T.O. have now been in the mix of Ezekiel Elliott, who didn't let people get autographs if it wasn't his own.
That's
still blasphemous to me. That is hilarious.
That's still hilarious.
What they say? Prescott? No, I ain't signing that. Get it out of
here. What is that? Is that a Cowboys helmet? I don't care. I don't play for them. Get that out.
Is that a Cowboys t-shirt? That don't say Ezekiel Elliott on it.
Oh, man, that was hilarious. But all right, let's go wrap it up for the show. As always, we will end it off with the speaking of shouting. So, Rev, are you speaking or are you shouting today?
Let me see. I am. Oh no, man, I'm pretty calm. I'm speaking. That it is nice through clips on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter to be able to see the Team USA practices and stuff. 1 week in February, we rarely get to see this many in one environment, talking with each other, running these drills, playing these one-on-one games. Because for the most part, the one-on-ones for sure are stuff you only get to see when Team USA is meeting. So I guess I'm shouting. It's really dope to get to see it. Get to see, PG and Melo, or PG and KD go one-on-one. Getting to see Russ and KD and running through drills together and stuff. Can't wait to see some of the scrimmage highlights coming out. This is always a good time being able to see that many high-quality players playing against each other. Not seeing the Warriors stampede over somebody and win by 50, or seeing destroy people all the time, or seeing them kill these international teams by 90 points, but seeing the best of the best scrimmaging against each other, running drills together. Part you maybe get to see in February. Well, it only happens every couple years. So it's really cool to get to see that. I enjoy that every time Team USA mini camps come around. So it's been pretty dope. It's made some quality moments on Instagram. Russ made fun of James Harden's step back earlier. It took like 8 steps back and then threw the shot up. So it's pretty fun getting to see these guys interact on that level. Okay. I'm grateful for basketball, Josh.
Yeah, basketball is gone, but it's kind of back at the same time.
I like the way they dribble up and down the court, right?
Okay. We're not doing that.
Okay, never mind. One take. My bad. One take.
All right, I am going to be speaking today. I always like to bring up some baseball at the end of the show, and the Cardinals made some big moves. So they said they dumping the bullpen that they had, and they bringing in the young guys. So I'm excited about that. But I'm speaking because I'm not gonna be too excited. See, I'm the cool, calm, and collected. I'm sitting back, and I'm just gonna watch and see how these young fellas do. So what they did is they released Greg Holland and they traded Sam Tuivailala, who I liked, but they got a younger guy, so I'm cool with it. They called up Dakota Hudson, and they called up Tyler was a lefty, and they also recalled up Daniel Ponce de Leon. Who was the dude? I don't know. Did you see the rookie who almost threw a no hitter, and we still ended up losing that game? Did you see that? No, you didn't. Okay, but anyway, they recalled him back. They recalled him back. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this takes us now that we potentially have a better bullpen. So I just want to speak on that real quick. Kind of speak it into existence that maybe they'll do better the second half of the season. Let's see. We're gonna hope. I like the trades. I like the moves that they made. I can't be mad at it. But yeah, that's all I got to say. You can
because I want my proper credit. Now the dude that almost threw a no hitter.
Okay.
Guy that got hit in the head and then came back.
Yeah, him.
Saw that? That's what I was actually about to mention when you started talking about the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
Which, first of all, that was amazing to me to have the courage to come back out on the mound and want to pitch after taking a hit like that.
Yeah.
Get right back on the horse and keep going.
Yeah.
But then not to come out there and just kind of, he pitched, but he was really doing the thing.
Yeah,
he was having a great pitching performance.
Balling. Yeah.
He was hooping.
Okay. That makes me think of we used to go to the real quick. We used to go to the volleyball games and we'd be like ball out. Oh no, what we used to do?
Oh yeah.
We used to go to volleyball. We'd be like, get buckets. Like they was playing basketball. Oh, y'all getting buckets. Okay.
Babe, y'all getting buckets already. Yeah, but for them to pull them and then they choked that game and lost.
Yeah, that was
like, wow,
annoying.
Y'all really gonna spoil my man's like.
That was annoying. I was upset.
Great game, a beautiful career and life moment, and y'all ruined it by losing.
Yeah.
He literally set the foundation for y'all to get that dub, and y'all was like, nah.
And they choked it away. But yep, that's it for the show.
I knew about that.
Okay, that's good. But anyway, that's it for the show. Rev, you want to go ahead and take us away?
Thanks to everybody that joined in. Shout out to everybody that commented, gave some feedback. It's always appreciated when y'all jump in. So shout out Ant, Gary, Cam. I forgot your boy, Local Business Search. I forgot what you said his name was.
Jed.
Local Business Search.
That's Jed.
Search. Yeah, Jed. I remember that now. Jed, shout out to you for getting active and also for telling it like it is and saying it and an emotional wreck. So I appreciate you keeping it real, G. Jed is a real one because he ain't holding back. So yeah, thanks again to everybody that joined in. If you aren't already, please do subscribe. Give this video a like, hit the bell, so you can make sure that you are absolutely aware every time we go live so y'all can get active and continue to help us grow and continue to help us get better. And as always, feedback is much appreciated. So we thank you for all that y'all do.
Deuces.
That's all I got to say, man. One take.
Bye. One take. That's all we do.